easier. That way I don't have to think about it anymore. So does anyone have anything to talk about with me so far? Anyone have anything to say? Anyone got any questions, comments, concerns? No? Everyone's hunky-dory? Martha, you there?
Yes, sir, I'm here.
Did you have to wake up to attend the class today?
No,
No?
I'm good.
Oh, okay. So we got about a minute to go. So if anyone has any issues, questions, comments, I'll repeat this again. You all can go back and complete any assignment you want to either improve upon your score or submit something you haven't done. I don't close the assignments. So again, feel free to go back. If you miss something, go back and do it. Yes, Martha.
Sorry again. I was going to put the thumbs up.
Okay, high five. Whoop. Again, feel free to go back and redo, retest any assignment you want. I'm totally happy to accept it. At the end of the day, the object is that you learn the materials, and your grade is definitely in this course a reflection of how well you learn the materials. Make sense? Everyone got a really good grasp of that? Yay. So it's now 7/10/4/26/2023, CIS133DA 14089. So now the class is officially starting. So I'll repeat what I just said. For those of you just now coming in, you can complete any assignment you wish. You can go back if, let's say, you forgot something or you didn't have time to do it in a certain week. Go back and do it, and I'll accept it. And again, there's some caveats to that. Please don't submit rubbish. Please don't think, well, I'll submit something and I'll at least get a point or two. You won't. Websites either work or they don't. If you did it about 90% right, I'll give you a 90%, 80%, things of that nature. But if you just turn in a 0 attempt, I'm sorry. I treat it like a workplace. I try to when you're a web developer in a professional environment. It's a very, I don't want to use the word inappropriately, but it is an unforgiving environment because as a web developer, you are the face of your company many, many times. And the quality of your work will be endlessly critiqued and typically very carefully. Meaning if someone doesn't like something, you'll be the first to know. I don't like where this navigation menu is. I can't find my favorite link that was here yesterday, things of that nature. So going online and submitting a poorly done assignment is a no-fly zone. It doesn't work in business, and I don't want you to get into the habit here where, well, my instructor, Dr. Turner, said I can submit whatever I want and he'll just give me full credit. Okay, it doesn't work like that in the business world, does it, Michael Tracy?
Not unless you work for Chandler Gilbert Community College.
Oh, there you go. No, no matter where I worked, I was I know, Martha, thanks a lot. When I worked at the district office at Maricopa, I was a webmaster, and it was a very tough environment.
So you're the person we're supposed to be angry at for all the changes that made to the website.
I haven't been the web developer there in probably 20 years now, but I did it for about 4 years, and it is a very tough environment. I changed the entire look and feel of Maricopa 2 separate occasions. And again, this is just the way that things work. And I just want to spend a few minutes being straightforward. You expect when you do great work and it goes through test and everyone there says, wow, this is really good. I really like what you're doing. And then you send it live and then you get 100 negative comments. I can't find this menu anymore. I can't find my favorite link. The color scheme isn't what I'm used to seeing. My feet hurt, whatever. You just get used to it. You take it for what it's worth. And then, you know what? In a week or two, it goes away. You fix your little bugs and the complaints go away. That's basically how a web design, I know Michael's laughing, but that's basically how a web designer's life works when you're the enterprise web developer. So what I'm trying to teach you here is be as precise as possible. At least, my thing was always, hey, my site works. You can never complain about the functionality. You might not have everything you want, but you got everything you need, and it's in a nice place to put it. By now, you should be about done with your websites. By now. Put some time under the hood on those. They are apart. I know. We have people that are like, oh, I'm so far behind. You got to spend the time. You got to put the time under the hood. And I say this all the time. When you're doing like Cengage assignments, like what I'm doing is walking you through the book piece by piece by piece. It's really easy to do it to a degree. It's really simple. It gets harder when you have to freestyle stuff. When your boss is like, you know what? Our website is no longer fresh. Our website is starting to look dated. You need to update it. And you're starting from scratch. You got a blank palette to work with. So what do? You just get busy. You start picking things. I like this logo. I like this picture. We need this text. These are the important links. And you start building it. Now, I was more of a developer than an artist. I had a person who worked with me that made it all look really pretty. But I was the one basically putting all the pieces together. She was the one making it look really nice. Just the way it works. You're not always given a ton of positive direction, but you're always given direction. I like this, I like that. Take this, rework it, don't do this, do that, and it always works out. You'll get used to that. If anyone's ever been a web developer or a programmer before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So again, I know I did a long circle around a small subject, but again, you can go back, redo any assignments you see fit, and I'm happy to accept them. The only caveat is I always want to see your best work. That's all there is to it. I want to see your best work. Mistakes happen. Sometimes you can't get it all done. Sometimes it's not perfect. But don't submit something you know is bad. So with that said, does anyone have any questions before we go to last week, this week, next week? Does anyone have any questions for me? Yes, no? No questions? Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, here we are. Does everyone see my screen? Does everyone see my screen? Yes? Good. So, again, same screen you've been looking at. 426, going to the modules. So we'll do our last week, this week, next week. We're running out of next week's, just so you know. I'll open this up at the end. Going back down. So this is April 24th to the 30th. We're going to do 4.1 and the 4.1 quick check. The one big thing I'm seeing relatively often is whatchamacallit. Let me see. Looking at some of this. I wonder why these are light. Let me click on that and see why they're light. Maybe because they're overdue, but it doesn't give me a dark one, so I'll save that. Back to modules. I don't know why those check marks are light, but if anyone has a problem getting into them, let me know. Let's try. Oh, I think it's because there's student submissions on it, so I can't change it. Okay, I see now. And again, last week we finished up the chocolate quiz tutorial 3, search engine optimization. We've talked about that. 4.1, we're going to do 4.1 today, quick check, and then next week, 4.2, quick check. We're going to talk about accessibility. We're going to talk about the week after that, which we're about done. Publishing to a server and your final project. So you can see now we are officially running out of weeks, right? Can I get a thumbs up for that? Yeah. So again, nothing unusual. All good things must end. I'm having a blast in this class. I have more fun than you can imagine. I hope those of you that are taking this class feel the same way. So I'll stop sharing. Go to here. Oh, go to this. Does anyone have any questions for me before we get started? Does anyone have any questions for me? I was teasing my wife today. Look at the size of this drink. I was teasing her. It's like a gallon jug. I know, Lewis. Are you jealous, Lewis?
Is that a margarita?
That is the biggest polar pop cup I've ever seen in my life.
I know. Thing weighs about 20 pounds. I love it.
I bet it is cool. I
Uh,
think the largest I've got is like, I don't know, the regular size.
yeah. This fits their large drink in there. If you take one of their largest drinks, their largest drink size, you can pour it in here. And there's a lot of insulation.
Interesting. That's actually really cool.
It is. I like it. It needs a strap you can wrap around your neck, though. It really
That would
does.
be cool.
And no, Michael, it's not margarita. It's Diet Mountain Dew. Sorry. It's kind of weird because Maricopa kind of frowns on instructors drinking while they work. I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because it's a bad idea. But no, just Diet Mountain Dew. Funny thing is, on a personal note, I have not had a drink in probably 30 years. Is that crazy or what? But I don't drink. I'm a non-drinker. I know, thanks for the claps. And Martha's like, no. But anyway, why no, Martha? Just don't like to drink.
More like a wow.
Oh, good. Yeah, it is it is a wow for me. I'll tell you that. So let's wow, that's not responding. Oh, did that close? Let's see. Let's move that aside. My computer isn't working as well as I would like today. I don't know why. It's kind of dodgy. I changed my internet. I went to the whatchamacallit, the Gigablast. Has anyone used Gigablast yet? Has anyone used Gigablast yet? Nobody? No. It's really neat. The nice thing about it is I was having troubles with the internet, and they said this would fix it. So I am now going to share my screen. Share. And I'm over here, and I'll open this up. And we all see where we are now, just so you see. Let's see where the student files. I just copy pasted the student files. Let's see if they're down here. They are. There's my student files. Now these are the same ones you download, just so you know. So you go to assignment 10, right? You go to the tutorial data files. And we've done this many, many times, but we'll do it again. I have to move it over. I've got a couple screens going. Extract, right? Zumo, and there's our tutorial files. And these are the ones you want, these tutorial files right here where it says tutorial. Those are the ones, those are your student files, okay? Everyone understand that? Can I get a thumbs up? This is the 4th time we've done it, so I think everyone would have it. So I'm just going to throw that in the trash. I like a nice clean desktop. So your student files are your tutorial files. Your student files are the tutorial files. Now the easy way that I choose to do it, and I do it this way every time, And believe it or not, I do it the same way. For one, complete, because remember, we're going to build on these. Now I take all my graphics files, any text files, and if I see a page that's done, like an HTML file page that's done, I'm going to move that over. When I see a .text.css, now I see my reset, style 1, style 2. I'm going to move those over. So I have all these. I'm going to go Control C. I'm going to put my 4.1 complete. I'm going to put it in my 4.1 complete. So it's all here. Make sense? Scoot it on over. I'm going to get it out of your way. So the only reason I do that is to make sure when I do my files, I know exactly what I'm doing with it. I know exactly what's going on. Now my student files, I don't need these anymore, so I'll get these out of the way. I'll get those out of the way. And 4.1 complete. So does everyone understand that step? Everyone understand this step? This way, if I make a mistake and I have to go back, I have my base files. I haven't changed my base files. Make sense? So now we're going to start on page 258. It's going to show you a little bit about what the page looks like. It's a pretty simple page. It's just going to show you, we're just going to set up some graphics. We're going to set backgrounds, borders, all this other fun stuff. And as you go through the instructions, it's going to show you about a figure box. A figure box is just a setting for an image, a figure, something like that, something of that nature. So it's going to say tb komatsu.text.html. So tb komatsu.html. Let me scoot that over. Go to my student files, tb komatsu.text.html, and I'll copy that and I'll put it right here in my complete. So you see how I'm moving it over? I take out the txt and I do the same thing every time. I open it up. I open it up so I want to see. So that's pretty nasty, but that's how we start. Okay. Now the first thing it wants us to do, next thing I'm going to do is open it up in Notepad++. Notepad++. So now I can see what it is. I can see where it's starting. Okay. It wants me to move the CSS files over. So, let me shrink this a little more. And again, just so you know, I've done it 3, 4, 5 times before you ever see me do it. So I do a lot of copy pasting. It saves a lot of time so you don't see me typing all this stuff, making the same mistakes you'll make. So I'm going to put the style sheets in here, right? It's reset styles 1 and visual 1. So I know I'm going to have to use visual 1 next. So I'm just going to go down to my visual 1.css in my student files. Visual 1.txt. I'll minimize that. So I'll do visual 1.txt. I'll take out the txt because I know I'm going to be using that. Open with Notepad. Oh, sorry about that. How about Notepad++? Sorry about that. Open with Notepad++. So now I have my visual 1 and my tb komatsu open, and this is what you'll have open. Okay. So now I'll go to my files, visual 1, open with Notepad. So I have everything here that we're going to need to work with. Okay. Oh, by the way, I got 2 different monitors now. I got 2 new monitors, so I'm still getting used to those. Yeah, my wife is laughing. So now I'm going to go to my tree and book. I'm going to do a refresh, and now you see it's somewhat neat. So the CSS has taken hold of it. See that? So now you see the CSS is now working. I've connected it. Makes sense? So, do you have a question, Malik?
Yes. So when you opened it in the Notepad++, how do you have it to where it's only those two files you opened?
I just went into here, right clicked, open with Notepad++, or I can go into my applications. I don't want to open it because it's got some personal information.
Okay.
And I'll open up my Notepad++ there, file, open, go to the directory and open it up.
Can you demonstrate that with just not those, just one of the files we already have?
Well, we'll do styles too. How's that?
Okay, because I have all my 3.3 files, and I want to
You just
have
want
my
these 2
4.
files open, correct?
Yes.
So all you really have to do is, if it's connected to it, you can do a right click, open with Notepad++. If you have that in your fast search. Now, if not, when you download your whatchamacallit, when you download your Notepad and install it, I'll just do this. I'll open this. I'll go down
Elliot, can I
to,
jump in here real quick?
sure, go ahead.
Malik, are you saying that your Notepad++ has got a whole mess of stuff open inside of it?
Yes.
Yeah, just close individual windows that you don't need.
Okay.
You can
Thank
you
you.
can you can close the individual tabs that you're not working with.
Okay.
Okay, did that answer your question?
It did.
Okay, you're fired, Michael. I'm sorry. Just how it works.
So how would you close just like the
Go ahead.
Komatsu tab? How would you close that, for example?
Click the X right here. See it?
Where would it go?
It doesn't go anywhere. It's just closed in Notepad++.
Okay.
It's still there. You're not deleting anything. You're just removing it from the Notepad++ IDE.
Okay.
Make sense?
It does now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Michael.
Thank you,
So,
Michael.
so are we all here now? We all here now? Yes? Okay. So now we can start working. And the first thing we're going to do is put in our figure. The figure is, let me shrink this just a little bit. The figure is just the image, so you can start manipulating the image as a figure. Okay? And it goes right under, and you can see you're looking at page, excuse me, 261. It goes right under the header, the Komatsu family. And again, just so we stay clear, if you don't know what something does, like let's say, what is a figure? Just go into your HTML, and I'll make that a little smaller, and I'll go figure. What is the figure command? I'm going to look up the tag. See? And it'll tell you exactly what it does. Does everyone see that? Don't be afraid to look things up. Don't be afraid to look things up. It's really difficult if you think everything's in one book. Nothing is in one book. Everything is in several books. I might download, literally a dozen books, or 30 websites. Doesn't matter. I'm constantly looking for new stuff. Don't think one book has every answer. So I saved my page. I should get a picture, right? See it? So it's here. So as you see from here, I did my figure. It's a TB Komatsu. Now what the figure did is it enclosed it. So now my CSS can work on it. Simple enough? Yes? Simple enough? Good. Just want to make sure everyone gets this now. On the bottom of page 261, the visual, and I usually like to do it on the next page because it makes it easier. So you go to your figure, and again, I'm going to move this over. I'm going to do it without copy paste. Figure box styles, I'm going to do my figure. When I open it, I immediately close it, right? Isn't that the way to do it, everybody? Isn't that the right way to do it? So I know off the bat, I'm not going to have syntax errors. So I'm going to have my margin. I'm going to do my margin. I'm just doing what the book says. Okay. So the margin is 20 pixels, auto, 0 pixels. Margin from the left. Width, 80%. So 80% of the figure is going to be used. So I always do it this way. I test it right away. Save it. Go into the CSS, go into the page, refresh, and see how that moved a little bit? See how that moved? Yes? I only see one thumbs up. There we go. Keep a really careful eye. Most of the time, I'll say about 90% of the time, you will find the mistake as you go because it's going to give you a thing. It's going to give you a, it's not going to look like the page it shows. Now we're going to go do the figure caption. We're going to do the figure caption. And I'll copy paste the whole thing. And the figure image. We'll do the figure image first. It'll make it a little easier for you because I'll do it as we go. Boom. So the image is block display. Width is the entire figure. So watch what happens. See how that took up the whole figure now? Now, if you're ever in doubt, you can always put a border around it and see exactly what it's doing. Makes sense? There's no border, so you really can't tell for sure. But if you put a border on it, it's going to show you exactly what it's doing. Make sense? So now we'll do the figure caption. And all it's really doing when you look at this, okay, so you see the font family? Does everyone see this font family? See it? So you notice there's several different types of fonts. So it says font family will be Palatino, Linotype, comma, Palatino, Times New Roman, serif, not sans serif, serif. So the reason it does that is if the Palatino Linotype doesn't exist, goes to the next, goes to the next, and goes to the next. It's saying it's Palatino style or Times New Roman serif style. Does everyone get that? It's going to be italic with 10 pixels and centered. So we'll save that and we'll look at it. It's going to be down here. See how that all changed? Does everyone see how that all changed? And if you're not sure, play with it a little bit. There's nothing wrong with playing with stuff, seeing what it does, seeing how it operates. That's the way that I always do things. Then when I look at this, I want to make sure it looks just like the picture in the book, what I'm working on. If it doesn't look like the picture in the book, do it again. Go through it piece by piece, figure it out. 90%, I'm telling you, 90% of your value will be in your ability to troubleshoot, even if it's your own code. You're writing the code, you can't troubleshoot your own code, you're not going to get a lot of value. As you get really good, you can start to troubleshoot other people's code. That's just how it works. So don't be afraid to redo something, recheck it, retype it. I always check for the semicolons. I'm checking for commas. I'm checking for everything. Make sense? Now we're going to set the background. The background is kind of neat. So we're going to go into the HTML style and just put a background image in there. And I want to show this to you. Okay, boom. Background image. And as you see, we have the entire background. Holy cow, the background's full. This is in the front because that's a different thing. That's a different item. Okay? It's typically in a div. Now with this, we look at this image. I'm going to go into here because I do this all the time. Background image, TB back one. Okay, let me look. TB back one. .png. Double click. I want to see what it looks like. Okay, so it's a lot of those. It's not just one. When we look at the website, see how they're all over the place? Does everyone see that? They're all over the place? Yes? It's called tiling. It's called tiling when you do that. It's tiled. That's the CSS, whatchamacallit, the default is tiled. If not, it won't be. Okay. So let's say I don't want a tile. I'm just going to show you. You don't know how to do it. Background, not tiled. No repeat. It's going to say no repeat. See? No repeat. Got it? No repeat. It's important because there's times you're not going to need it. There's times you're not going to need it. So just for fun, we'll go back in here. We'll go to the back. No repeat. Now watch what happens when I save it. See that? Bye-bye. It's probably behind here somewhere, but just so you see. Reset it, redo it, and it's back. Okay, I just wanted you guys to see that. And notice how light that is. We're going to learn opacity as we go along. You don't want your background to overshadow the rest of the site. Make sense? We don't want the background to overshadow the rest of the site. So now the next thing, you can size it, you can clip it, you can do the auto, all these things as you read through the book. I don't want to read it to you. You can read it yourself, but you can resize this any way you want. You really can. There's a lot of functionality to this. Now, within the article, this is the article, we're going to put an image in here. We're going to put an image in here, okay? Open this guy up. So, article, and again, this is how we always do it. Article styles, boom. So quick. Nelson Nguyen, what do I do next? What's my next thing I do no matter what every single time? What do I do? Are you there, Nelson? Nope. How about Bo Philly? What do I do next, Bo?
My mic's working now. I don't know what to turn it on.
Okay. What do I do next on the article? Any idea, Nelson? I guess
You close it.
Yeah, close it. That's right.
Yeah, I don't know why it's not working. It's annoying me.
That's okay. Martha, do you have a question?
No, I
No?
just want to answer it.
All right. Another high five. Boop. We always close it. So we're going to do background image, no repeat, content box. Okay. We're going to do our background in the article. Boop. Close the parenthesis, close the semicolon. Now watch over here. Boop. There he is. See that? Now you look at the image and it's right where it needs to be. See that? It's right where it needs to be. Just so you're aware. So we have a background image of the article. Make sense? We have a background image of the article. Take a look at the CSS. Article, background. Back to right bottom. Make sense? You go into the Komatsu. Here's our article. So you see what it did? It just put a background in the article in a certain place. No repeat. See that? No repeat. Everyone see that? So it doesn't work. Now watch this if I get rid of the no repeat. Watch what's going to happen. Holy cow. See that? Just want to make sure you're aware that that's like one of the most common things in web development. That people will forget the no repeat on the background and they'll spend half a day going, what is going on here? So now we have our one image. Now we're going to place our background images. We're going to place the rest of them. So I'm going to replace the background, rest of the background. Boop. And this is all one item. Just so you know, I'm going to neaten it up just a little bit for you. So we all know that URL is the image. It's the URL is the location, so it's in the same directory. 100% cover, no repeat content box, RGB, and it gives you a color. It gives you a background color. So when I do a refresh, there we go. we have the other one, no repeat, and this big background image. See that? See that big background image? 100%. Okay? And as we do it, this is all one thing. This is all one background. Do we all get that? We understand it's all one background? Yes? It's all one background. Life is wonderful. So take a look at it, see what it does. Now, just for fun, if I do, just for fun, 40%, no repeat. And I play all the time, just so you know. Now watch what happens. Ooh, he got big. But you see what I'm doing? If I don't know what a property does, I'll change it and see what the change is. Make sense? I have a bottom right and a bottom left. So does everyone thoroughly understand how this works now? Or at least you have enough basis to go back and look at it and play around. Yes? Thumbs up. Yay. Thumbs up, Nelson. Yay. Hey, we got the rest of you. Some of you are straggling. Now the next thing we do is borders. Borders are kind of neat. They're kind of like the finishing touches, whatever you want to call it. So when you have something like this, that's not really distinctive, is it there, Sergio? Is that real distinctive to you, this family links? What do you think?
No, it's not very distinct to me.
It's boring. So we're going to put a background around it, right? We're going to put a background around it. So first we're going to do this because this is okay, but if we put a neat little background on it, and body, open and close. You'll never go wrong if you do that every time. That will never be a mistake. So we're going to do these two borders on the body. This is the body. Let's do a refresh. And you see those little black lines now? Do we all see those little black lines? You see those little black lines? Yes? Now we're going to do the aside. And this is the aside for the family links. And if you're ever in doubt when you look at the book, just go into here. Look for the aside. Okay, here it is. Family links. So does everyone see that? There's the aside. Everyone see that? And when you do the aside, it's going to affect the entire box. When you do the aside, it's going to affect the entire box. Like it or not, there it goes. So, boom, aside styles. I'm going to do the entire box. Aside. And the first thing I'm going to do is border double. Boom. So border 4 pixels wide, right? Double line. And that's the color. Everyone got that? Pretty simple. So now watch this box. Double border. Simple enough? So now we have our borders. So now it's a little more distinct. Now it's a little bit more distinct. A little bit. And then there's all kinds of ways you can do a horizontal border, a vertical border, left border, right border, all that other fun stuff. Now the cool part is when you do a radius, watch what it does. It does a rounding. Boom. Now watch the border. Oh, now it's round. Everyone see that? Now watch this. If I want to play with it, I'll double it. I always want to see what it does. Boy, look at that. 90. But you see what I'm doing, right? Uh-oh. Kind of getting ugly now. Let's say 120. I just want to see what it does. Nothing I do can break things. So you see what it's doing? It's gradually turning into a circle. What if I did 360 just for fun? I want to see what it does. So that's as good as it gets. So 30. Back to 30. Test it. Looking good. Everyone see that now? Everyone see that? So the last thing we're going to do is apply a border image. This is kind of fun. We're going to apply a border image. So watch this. Control C. And again, I'm just copying pasting of what I've already done. It just saves a lot of time so we don't have to keep chasing around what we've already done. Make sense? Boom. Border style is solid. Border width, border image. TV border ping 50 repeat. So if you want to know what that is, tbborder.ping. Let's take a look at it. tbborder.ping. Okay, there it is. See it? So now when I look at it here, there's the border. And when I look at what it did, border style, border width. Okay? Make sense? Yes? And now you've got your border. And when you're done, and again, we're going to get into the next thing next week, but this one's to me, this number 4 is the most fun because you just turned something really pretty. You just made something really pretty. So again, I have my 4-1 complete. Compressed to a zip file, and this file is what I put in my folder. Make sense? That's the file that I put in my folder on my drive. It makes it much easier for me. Make sense? Everyone pretty happy on this one? So let's spend a few minutes while we're here and we'll talk about search engine optimization. I'm going to stop sharing. Oop. So I can look at you. Here we are. Hello. So search engine optimization. Everything we do when it comes to a website is done with SEO. Whole books and books and books have been written on search engine optimization. All it is, there's a mathematical logarithm that no one's going to be able to crack for Google, for Yahoo, for any search site that says when I look something up, it's going to pop the way, it's going to do what I want. It's going to find me the best site. There's several metrics, and unfortunately or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, one of those metrics is going to be how much did you pay, right? How much did you pay? Amazon, eBay, they all pay to get higher search engine optimization, advertising, anything to get a bit of an edge. Make sense? Now, there's a couple of steps to it. How many people have heard about the term spidering? How many people have heard about spidering? Anyone? No one's heard of spidering. Not even you, Martha? Michael's heard of it. So spidering is just, you have servers, server after server after server, whole servers, whole server banks in the cloud. Will do nothing all day but look at websites, and they're looking at the meta tags. Remember the meta tags? They're going to look at meta tags. They're going to look at the number of hits the website got. They're going to look at the relevance of the content compared to the meta tags. And unfortunately, they're going to look for the payment. They're going to look for the paying. So I'm going to show you something. I'm going to share my screen real quick. Share content. Boom, share. Pop this open. Okay, now I'm going to go into let's see. I'm going to look for book websites. Okay. So here's Open Library. We're just going to look at Open Library. That's the first one that popped on. And I can bet you they paid either a ton of money or they're just that good. Okay. When I right click, view page source. Wow, very neat. See how neat this is? Everyone see how neat this code is? What do you think? Really neat code? So these are the meta keywords. This is the type, no title, which is weird. But here's all the keywords. There's all the keywords. Author, creation, original copyright, global, distribution is everyone. And there's the theme color. So I'm going to make a wild guess that they pay to be the #1 search for that type, for this, because that is not a lot of good keywords. So like if I look up, just for fun, I'm going to look up free books. This is always a fun thing to do. Here's their meta keywords, right? I'm going to put them right in here. It's not here anymore. Everyone see that? Everyone see that? So it's not, I would highly doubt they got that site for free. So now we'll look at another one. Let's look at eBay. eBay. One of my sites that I go to all the time. View page source. It's going to be a lot messier. So see how they have this stuff? I'm just going to do a search for keywords. Keyword. Oop, hold on one second, Michael. Okay. So theirs is embedded in their code. Theirs is embedded in their code. So it's a little harder. It's a little bit harder to find. Let's find a different one. Let's try Amazon. Let's see if this is any better. Ooh, look at that. View page source. Let's see if they have better keywords. There we go. So these are their keywords. So now you look up Amazon, it's going to pop right away. But do you see their keywords? Look at how big their keywords are. See how big their keywords are? And probably each one of these keywords has payment in it. So go ahead, Michael. What did you have? What did you have for us?
I was just wondering how you were searching again.
Oh, I'm just typing words. I'm just typing things.
Who are you searching from? What engine are you using?
Oh, when I do this, it defaults to Google.
Okay.
My default is Google.
Because I used your same search parameter, the original search parameter in DuckDuckGo, and I got completely different results.
Sure, because they didn't pay DuckDuckGo. They paid Google. I know it sounds weird, but a lot of this goes on pay and a lot of it goes on other things. So if I take these keywords and I put it up here and I hit enter, there's the first one is Amazon. See that? Amazon, 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 Amazon. See how that works? That's going to be the big one. I'm just looking up keywords. I'm just looking up keywords. So all this nonsense right here is basically a lot of times it's security. It's just base security. See? Then you'll go through here. They have a lot of functions going on. Those functions are typically security, but they're hidden in functions in other places. They're hidden in functions. So they make them really hard to work with. But just to let you know, so I'll close that. I'll close that. Welcome to Open Library. Close that. But SEO is really, it used to be the huge deal about, let me stop sharing. SEO used to be like the huge deal about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. It's really kind of calmed down because of all the social media stuff and because of, and when I say social media stuff, because a lot of people do advertising on social media now. A lot of people just go to their social media and that's where they pull their ads. Just for funsies, this is not SEO, but how many of you will go on Amazon and you'll look up, we'll say boots. Then you'll go to your Facebook and lo and behold, there's an advertisement for your boots that you were just looking at. Anyone ever see that? No one's seen it. I don't. There we go. It's done all the time. And when you ever see that thing on the bottom of websites that says, we use cookies, right? Say yes to understand we use cookies. Yes? That's what they're doing. You go to a website, it deposits a cookie. Then you go to we'll say Facebook. Facebook goes down, picks up your cookies, and it knows how to advertise to you. It has nothing to do with SEO, but it has everything to do with being paid. Amazon might go to Facebook and pay them millions of dollars a month to do those kind of ads. It's just how it works. With Twitter, does anyone remember? And again, let's keep politics out of everything. We don't do politics here. But when Twitter was talking about advertising, when Musk first took over, a lot of the advertisers dropped. This is how Twitter made its money, made a lot of money, was just having files, advertisements delivered based on your cookies or based on your search history. Make sense? Yes? It's done that way all the time. But SEO is just a process of a search engine going out. They're called spiders. Looking at your site, looking at your keywords, looking at your content, evaluating how high up in the search you can be based on your hits and everything else. So if you wanted something really interesting, let me do this, and it may or may not work. Again, it only works sometimes, but I'm going to share my screen. Share content, screen 1, and share. So, does everyone see my screen? Everyone see my screen? Yes? So I'll just do it myself. I'll just do myself. That way I don't scare anyone. But I'm going to look up myself. Now, I've never paid anyone to look, but here I am all over the place. Everyone see that? And there's a picture of me. Tell me how scary is that? Right? Now I'm in the American Association of Community Colleges. But does everyone see this? Now, there's a couple of things you can do. That means that they've spidered all these sites, found me, and created a link just for me. Makes sense? So you see I teach at ASU also. You see I'm on LinkedIn. You see I have a YouTube channel. I have a Facebook that I don't use. Images. Scary. Does this still look like me? Give me a thumbs up or thumbs down. Does that still look like me? Martha. Why is that funny, Martha? Turn on your mic for me, Martha.
I'm still laughing.
Why is that funny?
Well, you made it funny.
Is that picture is 15 years old.
No, you look good there, but you made it funny
Oh.
by saying that.
Oh, great. Yes, Michael.
I just did the same thing and discovered I'm dead.
You're dead? Wow. Yeah, sometimes when you have a name that's kind of common, it'll happen. But I always get a kick. The last time I did this, it's people looked at that and said, "Man, you were young in that picture." I'm like, "Yeah, thanks a lot." That's my favorite picture in the world. That was my first day I ever taught. About 15 years ago, first time I ever taught full time. I was just so proud of myself. So, let me stop sharing. But I always encourage people, and I say this and I don't want to dig into details, whatever you do, whatever, winds up on the web. So if you post pictures of yourself you wished you hadn't, you'll find them on the web, guaranteed. And you can pay Google a lot of money to take those pictures down. They won't remove those pictures, but they'll black them out. They'll make sure they don't appear in any searches. Make sense? They're called dark links. So we're not going to talk about the dark web or anything silly like that. But if there's stuff there you don't want them to find, you can pay Google and other search engines to be removed. See, watch this. Well, you can do this yourself, but you go into search engine removal. And there's companies, remove your name from the internet, guaranteed removal. And they don't give you the price. And the problems to this is, not the problem, but the opportunity is, we're going to say there's something on the site you don't like, your arrest record. Not that anyone has one, just I don't want to go into those details. An arrest record, you might have had a Facebook page you're not so proud of anymore. You don't want your new boss to look at it. You can pay to have it removed. So just look it up on your own. It's something to me that's like kind of important. So what I've done is I have turned on the WebEx meeting for 426. Feel free to take the quiz, and I will see you guys next week, bright and early. Well, 7 o'clock, usually on about 10 to 7. So take the quiz, and I will see you all next week. Thanks, guys. This was a fun one. Don't forget to do your work. Don't forget to save it. Catch up. Those of you that need catching up, please catch up.
I have one more thing before I go.
Who's this, Malik?
Yeah.
Yes, Malik.
It's about my when I submitted my 3.3.
Mm-hmm.
Said I didn't have the files, and then
Yep.
I went back and watched the video,
Mhm.
and then I got the required files,
Mhm.
and then I resubmitted it,
Mhm.
and then I also sent my the files that we worked on in the video as proof. So I just double checking on that.
Well, okay. Let's see. What's your last name again?
Wheeler.
Wheeler. Malik Wheeler. Okay. Okay. And it was 3.1?
3.3.
3.3. Okay, okay, I don't want to talk about your grade because we are being recorded.
I know.
So I'm going to look at it. Okay,
Hang
so
on.
ouch.
Sorry.
So that's okay. I'll download the PC1.zip and I'll look at it right now. Let's see what's there. I see all the files. Oh, hold on a second, Lewis. Yeah, Lewis, hold on. Okay. Let me. Okay. Okay, I'm not seeing. Let me look at it real quick. Because I see the files. Okay. Let's see the CSS. Is it there? Because it's not showing up. Something's definitely
But 3.3?
Yeah, I'm looking at 3.3. I'm looking at one of them. It was called 3.3, Wheeler 3.3 PC1. You have 2 files. Now look up the submitted files. I'm looking at both of them. No, yeah, that's not right because that doesn't have any of the files.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
So
weird.
pop them up. Yeah, pop them open on your own and take a look.
Okay.
Okay. And like I said, just work it. And I say that, work it according to how I did the assignment. If your 3.2 is good, and again, I don't want to talk about your grades because we are being recorded. So You need to look over all your grades and okay. So take a look at your 3.1. If your 3.1 is right, then look at your 3.2. If your 3.2 is because it's a building block. Make sense, Malik?
Yeah.
You can go back and do your 3.1 over, your 3.2 over, your 3.3 over.
Okay.
You can do them all. You can do your 2.2, your 1, everything. You can do whatever you want.
All right. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. So you had a question, Lewis? Lewis, do you have something? I hear banging. Are you there, Lewis?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. What's up?
The true and false options aren't showing.
The true and false aren't showing.
Yeah, I was looking at the. I was going to do it and it didn't show up. And it's also 0 points.
The quiz?
Yeah, for the so we can sign off and everything.
Wow. Let's see. Let me go in. Edit. That is really weird, but I will. Okay. Try it now.
All right.
Let me know.
Still not showing unless I need a refresh. That's probably what I'll do.
Yeah. I'm sorry. What's your last name, sir?
Stewart.
Stewart.
Yes.
I just gave you credit. Don't worry about it.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You betcha. Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.